Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Elena Comperatore, and I'm the Career Development Coordinator here on the Naples campus. And tonight we're going to be going over resume development. The purpose of a resume. The purpose of a resume is to sell yourself. You want to sell yourself to the employer. Your goal is to convince the prospective employers that you are the right person for the job. A resume is about your future and not your past. This is one important thing that students get confused on. They want to put everything about their past on the resume and not think about the future. But you want to include what goals you have for the future, what goals you have with this company for the future. Of course, you put your past experiences on there, but you also have to put how they relate to what you want in the future. Okay? When writing a resume, imagine the ideal candidate. What type of person would you want to hire for this specific job? What qualifications do you have that fit what they're looking for? You want to make sure to include those. Any job posting is going to have a list of qualifications. And when you're reading through them, you just want to make sure that your qualifications fit what they're looking for, and make sure to include those on your resume. Okay? What kind of personality would thrive in this position? Accounting students typically are more quiet and reserved. They sit in an office, maybe with a couple other people, and crunch numbers all day. Well, that wouldn't be a good position for a type of person who likes to be out in public and dealing with public relations or something like that. So you have to make sure the type of job that you're looking for is going to suit your personality. Okay? What skills would be critical for continued advancement? Do you want to be right where you're at whenever you get out of college, or do you want to find a job where your skills will help you grow and grow and grow more with that company, or in that same career path but maybe with a different company? Okay? And then if you were hiring for this position, what would be most important to you? What would be the most important aspect to put on your resume to sell you is what you have to think about. And like I said, that's going to vary with each different job posting that you're looking at, because they're all going to be looking for different things. You just have to find what good combination you have with the employer itself and the job posting. How to organize your resume. Which format should you use? There are 3 formats to a resume: chronological, functional, and combination. And on our career development portal site, we have this up there, and it's in the handouts that you guys have. I talked about the chronological, the function, the combination, and the characteristics, advantages, disadvantages of all of them. When to use, when not to use. Everybody's resume is going to look different. Some people have been in the same job for a long time, so you're going to use a chronological. Some people are just graduating from college and don't really have any work experience, so you're going to want to use a functional that will sell your skills more than your past work experience. So it's all going to vary. Okay? First step to writing a resume. Compile the information for each relevant section in the resume. You want to have your contact information at the top. Your name, your address, your email address, and your phone number. Objective statement, career summary, summary of qualifications, and we'll get to that in just a second. Then your education, then your work experience, and then any memberships or clubs or organizations that you're a member of. Any languages that you have, and any other skills. Okay. Your education. A lot of times students forget to include their education on their resume, or they think that if they're not done with their college degree that they shouldn't put it, but you should always put it because you are working on it, you have completed classes, and it shows that you're motivated and want something more. High school is not required, especially since you're in college. It already shows that you're out of high school now. Okay? Your GPA or your honor roll. If you have a good GPA, you definitely want that on there. If you've been on the dean's list or the part-time honor roll, you're going to want to put those in this section as well. Now, if your GPA is not so good, then you're not going to want to include that. Okay? And then any relevant coursework completed or computer knowledge that you have. The relevant coursework is good for students who are in a specific degree and looking into that specific field for their job. It shows the different classes, and even though they don't have the on-the-job experience, they have the latest and greatest knowledge of that area. Okay. Work experience. List every company, location, and dates of employment. So you'll want to have the company name, what your job title was, Naples, Florida, and then the dates that you were there. Note the position that you had, your duties, responsibilities, and any accomplishments. The accomplishments would be if you were in sales and you had a big contract, or if you got Employee of the Month, something like that, okay? Also list any outside activities, fundraising, if you're on any committees, board of directors. But you want to make sure you want to be brief, specific, and active with all of these. You don't want to list an entire page of duties for one job. A lot of times people have jobs in the same field, so theirs would be repetitive. You don't want to repeat the same thing over and over too, okay? And here's what I mean whenever I say be active. Descriptive statements and action words. Experienced doing basic accounting and record keeping. Developed individualized client goal plans. Established work schedules for staff. Responsible for writing reports and correspondence. It shows things that you've actually done, okay? It helps highlight them. Other experiences. Any volunteer organizations, if anybody is a member of the Ambassadors or Business Club or any of the clubs here at the school or any clubs in the community where you may volunteer. Awards like Employee of the Month, the Student of the Month, stuff like that. Any professional affiliations. For my job, I'm a member of HERMA and SHRM and NACE. It's a whole bunch of HR affiliations. So anything that can help you in your career path like that is good to include. And then if you're a veteran or have any military experience, that's also excellent to include on your resume. What should I include at the top? This is where we get objective, summary of qualifications, or a career summary. It's different for every person. An objective is just one little statement. Seeking a position in the IT field where I can utilize my internship experience as well as my college degree. Summary of qualifications will just be a bulleted list of the qualifications you have that you feel are good for the positions that you're applying for. And a career summary is a brief little paragraph that could start with, HR professional with 10 years of experience and hiring and training. Just a couple sentences, little paragraph, okay? Evaluation time. You want to make sure that your resume is accurate and truthful. People will find out if you lie on it, okay? They do call past employers. They do call your references. So you want to make sure that everything you say on there is accurate. Easy to read, arranged in logical order, and free of typographical errors or misspelled words. You would be amazed at how many people send me their resumes with misspelled words or grammar issues. Make sure that before you send it out to employers, you have friends or family or me take a look at them. It never hurts to have extra eyes looking over, and one person might see something that another person misses. Okay? Categories or sections are clearly titled. That's like you'll have your objectives just a little bit bigger or bolded or underlined along with your work experience, just so each section you can clearly tell where you're going with it, okay? One page. This is very, very, very important, unless your work experience doesn't allow it. So if you're in one field for a long time and you've been in several different jobs in that one field, then that's okay. Sometimes we can't fit it to one page, but we almost always can fit the resume to one page. And that's very important, especially now with how many resumes employers are receiving for every job that they have posted. If they're getting resumes that are 2 or 3 pages long, I know it's not right, but they're not going to take the time to read them. So you want to make one-page resume that's really going to stand out, okay? Do I need to include work experience from 1988? If it's relevant, you should, you can. If it's not, then no. It just takes up space, okay? Do I need my references on my resume? No, you can have a separate reference page, and whenever you submit your cover letter and your resume, if they ask for your references, then submit that at the same time. If not, whenever you get called in for your interview, then just make sure you take your reference sheet with you. And you also want to make sure that you contact the people that you're using as your references and let them know, okay? Is it relevant to the type of position I am seeking? If you look at your resume, can you clearly tell what type of job that you're looking for, what you're applying for, okay? What if I'm applying to positions in various fields? Well, you can use your cover letter to help that, or just change your objective statement for every one that you're applying for, okay? What if I don't have enough information? Well, then come visit me, and we'll help you get the information. And the packets that you guys all have a bunch of skills in the back that can be put onto any resume. There are transferable skills, there's management, leadership, accounting, IT, just a whole range of skills that each one of you has. And a lot of times students forget that they have these skills or don't think that they would be relevant on the resume, but they really are. Cover letter or professional correspondence. The purpose of a cover letter. A cover letter is very important. It introduces your resume to the employer, and it summarizes what you're trying to say. And on our career development page here, we have tips for conducting a successful job search, creating a resume, filling out job applications, professional correspondence, references, interviewing tips, networking, all types of handouts. This is where we keep our job postings, our job search sites. So make sure that you log into the portal and visit this site, okay? But tips for a cover letter, and then it has different examples of cover letters here. So make sure you visit this site and check it out. Cover letters are extremely important. Okay. Seek, summarize, and request. And remember to write a thank you letter. The seek, summarize, and request is you're looking for the job. And in the first paragraph of your cover letter, you're going to write where you found the job that you're applying for, and why you feel that your qualifications are good for that job. Just a simple little 3 or 4 sentences in that paragraph. And then the second paragraph is where you summarize yourself. Summarize your resume. Pull out your key points and put them in that second paragraph. And then the third paragraph is request. That's where you're going to request an interview from the employer. You could write something like, thank you for taking the time to review my resume. I look forward to hearing from you so we can meet for an interview. I can be contacted at, with your name and your phone number and stuff again, okay? And then remember to write a thank you letter. This is after you get called in for an interview. Thank you letters are even more important than the cover letter, okay? The thank you letter will give you the opportunity to put your name in front of that employer again. And a lot of times people are nervous whenever they go into an interview, so they might forget something or realize, oh, I really didn't want to say that, or I didn't explain that enough. So this will give them a second chance to clear up anything that they missed, okay? Managing the job search process. Looking for a job is a full-time job in itself sometimes, okay? So you want to use as many online resources as you can right now. That's the direction that employers are going. So there's local employers' websites. Every company in the area pretty much has its own website, and they'll have their own careers. And we also have that job, or the job board with local employers listed on it. And different job search engines, Indeed.com, Snagajob.com, Monster, Career Builder, all those. And you can register each one of those to receive job leads. They'll email you things that match the criteria that you entered. And then our on-campus job board and our online job board. And I'll show you those once we get to the end of the slide, okay? And then employer spotlights. We try to have companies come in every semester that have different job openings available, and they sit in the student lounge over in the other building from 5 to 6 o'clock, talking to students, taking resumes, okay? And those are posted whenever we have them available. And then a career assessment. If there's anybody who's not sure what they want to do, or if what they're looking at right now is right for them, we have what's called a Myers-Briggs Indicator Personality Test. It's used in the military and in different businesses all over the world. It's 95% accurate, or maybe even more than that. But it's not exactly like, it tells you about your personality, and it gives you a list of the jobs that people with the same personality as you have been successful in, and ones they've been not successful in. Okay, now not every personality, not every person's going to be the same, but it's a really neat thing to do. So I have those in my office if anybody's interested in those. Okay, they're not to be used as the sole criteria for making the decision. It's a 3-part test. It usually takes about a half an hour. Okay, College Central Network is where we have our online job board. And I'm not going to go into great detail in it, but anywhere you see that logo on our career development site, is the link that will take you to the website. And then you guys will click on students and log in. Okay, and this is where we have our jobs. And the search for jobs opportunities posted my school. And it'll take you to, we have 55 jobs posted just to Hodges right now from outside employers, okay? And then you can also search for jobs and Naples. And there's 1,839 jobs. Now, not all of those are directly Naples. You'll see that it'll say United States or Florida. Those are kind of like headhunter companies looking for people for other companies. That's not the company itself. Okay. Any questions? I know I went through it kind of fast. Everybody understand? Okay. Well, I have my name and my email address and my phone number up there if anybody wants to meet with me to discuss their resumes. And our next workshop will be next Tuesday, and that's where we'll actually be building our resumes together. Okay? So if you want to go ahead and over the next week, think about some things and just jot down some things that you might want to write on your resume. Or if you already have one made, bring it with you and we'll review it. But for those of you who don't, just jot down your work experience, your education, stuff like that. You don't have to make it all formal. We'll do that next week. Okay? Okay, thank you all for coming.